There are thousands of magic tricks out there, all claiming to be the best. But in this video, I'm going to teach you the one magic trick that stands above all the others. And the best part? This trick is so easy to do, you'll be able to master it in minutes, yet is so powerful, you might even be able to fool a magician with it. Hey, how's it going everyone? Oscar Owen here, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you one of the best magic tricks that I know. This is basically a self-working trick, meaning anyone can do it, yet it gets absolutely killer reactions. So if you're ready, let's go to the card table and I'll show you how it works. The magician has a deck of cards and cleanly shows that they're all different and shuffled. However, to make things even more random, he takes the deck, splits it in half, and then shuffles them together. As you can see, every card is interlacing with each other, and the spectator can even push these cards together themselves to be sure that the cards are genuinely being mixed and everything is clean and fair. The magician then tells the spectator to cut the cards in half, so they do that, and then they choose either pile. They point to the pile on the left, so the magician picks them up and shuffles them up even more. The spectator is then asked to pick out any card. Again, this is genuinely a free choice from a genuinely shuffled pack of cards. In this case, they've chosen the 10 of hearts. The 10 is returned to the deck, and the magician does no funny moves and leaves the cards on the table. However, just to take things a step further, he then picks up the cards and gives them a shuffle to lose the spectator's selection somewhere inside the pack. Now, just to confirm how ridiculously fair this has been so far, we began by shuffling the cards, the spectator then cut the cards, chose what pile to use, then the spectator had a free choice to choose any card, which was then returned to the deck and shuffled. The magician then says he's going to show the spectator something impossible. He instructs the spectator to pick up the other pile and deal the cards down and stop wherever they want. Wherever the spectator stops, the card that they choose will determine the location of the spectator's card in the other shuffled pack. The spectator stops and the magician tells them to turn their card over. It's a 7. Just to prove how random this was, had the spectator stopped one card later, it would have been a 3, and one card earlier, it would have been a 9. But they stopped at a 7. And remember, these cards were shuffled at the beginning of the trick. The spectator then picks up the other pack and counts off 7 cards face up. The 7th card is their 10 of hearts. The spectator is fooled. Very quickly, if you want to learn 5 amazing magic tricks that are simply too good to reveal on YouTube, then sign up to my free magic masterclass. Inside the masterclass, I'm going to be showing you how to read the mind of your spectator. I'm going to be showing you how to put thoughts inside your spectator's head. I'll be teaching you the same effects that Dynamo uses when people tell him to perform, so you can get amazing reactions like this. What the hell? And I'll even teach you the ultimate party tricks that next time you're out at any social event, you'll be able to impress anybody that you like. So the whole thing is 100% free. I really mean it. There's no strings attached. So just sign up by clicking the first link in the description, and I'll teach you some mind-blowing magic tricks that you'll be able to perform within minutes of learning how to do them. This trick requires a very simple setup, and then from there it's basically self-working. Remove all the 6s and 7s from the deck, and then do the following. Place one random card onto the deck, then place a 6, then place another random card onto the deck, then place a 7, and keep doing this until all the 6s and 7s are used up. It doesn't actually matter what order you place the 6s and 7s in, so long as there's a random card in between them. Very quickly, a more advanced way of doing this, as I did in the performance, is to place all the 6s and 7s on top of the deck. Then begin by doing a perfect Pharaoh shuffle, and all the cards will interlace as you can see. The cards will now be in a stack. However, if you don't know how to do a Pharaoh shuffle, then don't worry, just begin by stacking the cards as I've just showed you. So now, regardless of what method you used, you should have a stack on top of the deck. You can actually spread out the cards to show that they're completely normal, and as the stack is basically impossible to see. Ask the spectator to cut the cards in half. Take what was the top half of the deck and place that to the side. Then take the other pile and shuffle them in any way you like. Now let the spectator choose any card. However, as you do this, count off the top 6 cards by pushing them to the side and then place your fingers under them. So in your hand, you're holding the top 6 cards. Now let your spectator pick out any card. In this case, they've chosen the 9 of diamonds. And when they return that card, just place those other 6 cards on top of it. This will place their card 7th from the top. If they happen to choose a card from the 6 cards that were in your hand when you were spreading them out, then very simply just add an extra card into the stack whilst they're looking at their card. You've got all the time and misdirection in the world to do this. So you place their card back into the deck, drop it onto the table, and act like nothing has happened. They chose a card, they put it back, and that was that. If you want, you can perform a false overhand shuffle like I did in the performance, but again, this is really not needed. Now let the spectator pick up the other pile and tell them to deal down and say wherever you stop at, that card will determine the location of your selection. Remember that every other card is a 6 or a 7. So you have a random card, then a 6 or a 7, then a random card, then a 6 or a 7, and so on. So let the spectator deal down, and when they deal to a random card, think no, and when they deal to a 6 or a 7, think yes. So it looks like this: no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, etc. If they land on a yes card, then simply turn it over, and in this case it's a 7. You know their card is 7 down in the deck, so just point to the other pile and say the 7th card down is your card. Remember, you can also show the cards before and after to really show that this was a free choice. This is what really sells this illusion. If they land on a yes card and it's a 6, then just simply point to the other pile and tell them to count off 6 cards. And then say the next card, which is the 7th card, will be theirs. Notice here how you've just forced them to land on the 7th card, even though the card said 6. However, if they land on a no card, you know that the next card down will be a yes card. So just point to the next card down and say, let's turn this over and see what it says. Of course, it will be a 6 or a 7. So as you can see, whatever the spectator does, you're always going to be directing them to the 7th card in the other pile. Make sure the spectator doesn't deal past the stack of cards by telling them to choose a card soon if they're getting close to the end of the stack. I really hope you enjoyed this trick, and please check out my free magic masterclass by clicking the link in the description.